Hey, little Halloweenies, just a real quick jump in here with tonight's 31 Days of Horror. I am the Randy Mole, and I have really kept it Halloweeny by watching Halloween H2O. Now, as I'm about to start talking about this movie, I just want to really quickly clear up a little issue I had. I recorded this movie a few weeks back on MTV. Turns out, still a channel, turns out, doesn't do music, but does every now and again stick on films. And about 10 minutes in, I was thinking, I remember this film being gorier. So I paused it and had a quick check and realised that the version I was watching on MTV has been edited for TV with a lot of the gore taken out. Still had still had the death scenes, still had some gore in it, but there's a bit with an ice skate in his head quite near the beginning, and you sort of see it quick, but you don't get the camera pan into it that you did in the original. So I kind of watched the kill count on YouTube and watched some of those bits just to make sure I wasn't too mean by saying lack of gore or anything like that. But I stuck with it. So what's Halloween H2O about? Well, basically it's Scream. It's Jamie Lee Curtis is back. So now Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she died or something in one of them. I can't quite remember. Number 2. Yeah, this is a follow-on from number 2. It ignores parts 3, 4, 5. Is this part 6? Yeah, it ignores parts 3, 4, and 5. Was this part 7? Yeah, this is part 7. It ignores parts 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. There's a load of them in the middle there. Wait a minute. The new one just ignored this one as well. And then part 8. And then... Halloween films don't make a lot of continuital sense. Continuital? Like, that word didn't make sense. But anyway, this film follows on from Halloween Part 2, where Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' sister. She now works in the Hillcrest preparatory, really posh school. She's like the principal there. And all these posh kids are in there and they all wear uniform. That's how you know it's posh, because in America you don't wear uniforms because you're a bunch of slops. So it's a posh American school. And all the kids go away for a weekend, apart from her son and his girlfriend and 2 of his friends. And literally the whole rest of the school go on a camping trip. And it's Halloween night. She's a recovering, she's kind of like a functioning alcoholic. She didn't really come across that much of an alcoholic, if I would be completely honest. Something's just happened on the background image. I think we're an advert. All these images. And I get an advert. Never had an advert before. Well, it went wrong, didn't it? But I'm going to continue anyway because I'm a pro. So they all go away and Michael Myers comes back. It's 17 years since... it's 20 years. Note the H2O, Halloween H20, but her son is 17, which was the age she was in the original. La-di-da-di-da. And what ensues is a game of let's all kill who's left at the place, with Michael Myers being the guy that is it. So what did I like about it? It's fun. It's fun. It trundles along at quite a nice little pace. It has disposable characters being disposed of. It's got a few really nice set pieces. There's one quite funny one where Michael Myers is on top of the tables, going across them like this, and she's underneath them oh no, this is just stupid, but it's quite fun. And I like Michael Myers. I'm going to throw a negative and a positive in here. I like Michael Myers in the way he moves and he looks for a lot of it, but not all of it. Because they switched the mask. I'm sure I remember reading this before. They switched the mask partway through and had to go and re-edit bits to get change his mask. And there are some bits, particularly at the beginning, where the mask looks shocking. And I don't think the Michael Myers mask is particularly good in a lot of the movies. But it gets better as this film goes on. And the guy who plays Michael Myers, who I have met at, I think it was London Film and Comic Con, Chris Durant, he's got a really good movement about him. He's kind of slender and slimline and sleek, and he has kind of a good walk with the way he steps forward and the way he turns. There's a bit where he's looking down his mask and he actually looks evil, and I thought that's pretty cool. He's also happened to play a lot of the ghost face stunts in Scream 2. And the actors, I'll come back to Scream 2 in a second. Hold that thought. And a lot of the actors, they're good actors. They're better actors than the film almost deserved. We had Josh Hartnett, Michelle Williams, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in one of the opening scenes. Obviously Jamie Lee Curtis is back. Jamie Lee's mum's in it. What's her name? Janet Leigh. I think this is the last film. Well, no, this was the film before she did this one was The Fog, also a Jamie Lee Curtis, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's got quite a good pedigree, and there's some, you can see that people are acting, it's like, they're doing quite a good job of it. And some of the deaths, they're all right. There's a nice bit where someone gets hoisted up, stabbed, and a bit with a dumb waiter, and it's all right. What didn't I like about it? Apart from the fact that it was the cut version I was watching, there is a few bits in there where you kind of think, this is just throwaway story. I mean, there is no point to much of this. And that kind of comes in, I think, because it was a script by someone and then someone else came in, and then I think Kevin Williams from the Scream Films came in and gave it a look over. It does feel like a bit of a hodgepodge. And top that off with the most random score going. So this really pulled me out of it to begin with. I was sort of thinking, I know this tune, and this isn't the Halloween tune. And I was like, is it Cape Fear? And I kept thinking Cape Fear, and I actually Googled it, and it was from Scream 2. And then clearly you get Scream 1 score, and then you get Mimic score, and then you get, there's the bit with her mum in it, Jennifer Lee, Jason Lee, my brain's gone to mush, it's late. Her mum, Jamie Lee Curtis's mum, I can't remember her name. When she gets in it, she goes, I don't want to talk maternal right now, as her mum, and then starts talking all mumsy to her. And then she goes and gets in her car, which is the car from Psycho, and then the Psycho music plays. And I'm like, what? And I don't get it. And then when the actual Halloween score comes in towards the end, they actually do a really good job with it, because they lose the sort of that plays behind the piano and go for just the piano. And that sounds really good. And then there's a scene where they're watching Scream 2 and they're referencing Scream 2 and the sounds. And actually, so much of the story is exactly the same as Scream. You've got the same opening. You've got, so often people are walking up, like someone will turn around and someone will bump into him and it does that scream noise. It's just that this is Scream 3 without it being Scream 3 and not having Ghostface. It's not as good as Scream 1 or 2 either. And it kind of became a bit like, this is just a mess. It's just a shambly mess of randomness pulled from other films and all squidged together to make this like H2O. I mean, if H2O itself is an element of like hydrogen and oxygen, this is somewhere between all the Scream movies congested and then the Halloween idea congested and squeezed into its own element of just disposable slasher film. But I enjoyed it. Even despite that, I thought it was quite good fun. I actually like this film. I like it. I think it's so short. It's in and out, and it does what it needs to do in that for a throwaway disposable slasher. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. So I guess a lot like water. It ain't bad. I'll drink it rather than have a Dr. Pepper or beer. Probably worth just noting that, it's directed by Steve Miner, who's done, he did like Halloween 2, Friday the 13th 2, Friday the 13th 3, a few other genre films, including Lake Placid, which is a film I really enjoy. It's all right. It's all right. And it's one of the better entries in the Halloween franchise. I don't know if that's saying that much, but yeah, I'm giving it 3 pumpkins. I think I'm being a bit generous, but that's what I'm giving it. Anyway, time for me to go night. See you later.